Okay, I hope it's recording. Okay, it's a bit hard, but um, first of all, I'm just gonna play this game while I talk about this because I'm in quarantine. I don't wanna like go on camera and spend like an hour doing all, making sure I don't look like total crap. So let's just ignore the game if it's not interesting to you. But yeah, the thing I want to talk about is yeah, stop paying rent. Um, you don't. I mean, I know what I'm saying sounds crazy because how can you stop paying rent? You need You need a place to sleep at least. You need a place to go after work and relax, get some food and everything. Um, but the ugly truth is that in the end, if you're paying rent, um, you're giving away money to somebody who owns this house, this building, maybe a corporation. It doesn't matter if it's a corporation or a person. Somebody, something has bought this house. It's their house. In the end, when you move out of there, you just gave them a house. You paid for them buying their house. They got a mortgage. They got some money from the government. They had money to buy that house. They didn't need to live in it, and they rent it to you. And by the end of the day, after living there 10, 20 years, um, um, yeah, okay, let me tell this story. Like in December, my mother died. She was mentally ill. I took care of her last 20 years. And last couple of years was pretty hard. I mean, she was getting weaker and weaker, really, because she was a big time smoker, and of course that's not very healthy. And anyway, let's not go into the details. Let's say it wasn't easy, and eventually, what I want to tell tomorrow, what I want to tell you guys this is because my mother died in December, and pretty much like I don't know if it's the same week or I got to talk with somebody um, from where I ran my well, my mother rent her home, and they told me, well, you can stay a few months and then you have to leave because you're not on the lease, and yeah, that's the rules. You cannot just stay here. That's the government rules. Now, I mean, it's their building, so they're just hiding behind those rules. And that's the thing. I'm like, all these rules. I mean, supposed to be um, this nice country with all these social rules, but this is pure antisocial. I mean, imagine you're renting it from a guy, some guy. This big fat guy comes up to you with a cigar, and he's like, "Oh, listen, look, you got to get out of this house, blah blah blah." I mean, what would you do? I mean, you would be really pissed off at this guy, right? I said, "Well, what are you talking about? I just lost my mom. I've been living here, taking care of her for 20 years. I got all these memories living here, and I'm grieving, and you come here and tell me that I need to like start looking for a new place to live while I'm like in a big mess. This is not not yeah. I mean, this is not how you do things. Normal person, normal human being. This is not how human beings treat each other. I mean, I talked to I had a phone call, and they were talking about it. I said, well, I'm not a dog, you know. I'm a human, living human being. Like, how can you just say things? Oh, you need to get out and stuff. And and that's just how life is, how harsh people are. But I mean, the main thing I want to talk about is like we lived here for 20 years, and I paid my fair share of living here. I mean, she wouldn't have been able to do all the things she was doing if I wouldn't have helped pay the bills. And I mean, she was very expensive. She was drinking and smoking, so you can imagine it was a very expensive lifestyle. And yeah, it's like most of my money just went to her doing those things. But yeah, she was mentally ill. It was really hard. It was almost. I mean, yeah, ended up being able to get her to quit drinking, but yeah, not the smoking. And I always thought I gonna have more time, but yeah, is smoking is more deadly than you think, guys. It's very deadly. And if you don't, if you smoke, stop smoking before you're like 50 or something, or even earlier, because it's gonna take 10 years for your lungs to recover. So and like if you're over 60 and smoking and have been smoking your whole life, yeah, you're gonna lose 10, 20 years. But yeah, that's a whole other talk about smoking, and it's crazy that that's even legal, because it's just killing people. Um, but I guess it's all from the old days when people could just do crazy things like I mean, first Coca-Cola, it was like it had a lot of cocaine in it and stuff. So, but eventually that of course is no longer allowed. But yeah, it's uh, I don't know. It's like they ask money for cigarettes. They pay. I mean, you're paying taxes, extra taxes. Government's making huge amounts of money from people killing themselves. I mean, it's just complete insanity. If I would like produce like some candy, and after a week or like a few months, children's teeth would fall out, then I wouldn't have to be able to bring to market, because people, yeah, that's just crazy. But yeah, but they just tax it, and they just let people buy this stuff. It's killing them slowly, and giving them cancer and stuff. But anyway, that's another rant. Um, so okay, I was trying to explain to you why not pay rent. Um, look, like I said, I paid also for this home. I paid my fair share. I lived in it for 20 years, and I calculated it's like 160,000 euros that we paid together for to live here. 160,000 euros. Now you could buy a really small house for that in Holland. Maybe like something really simple and basic, maybe in a flat or something. It would be really hard. Maybe it would be even impossible. You probably need at least like 200,000 or something to get something in Holland to live in. But yeah, it's almost. I could have bought. I could have had, if I would have like would have been able to like get a mortgage, and put that all that money in that mortgage. I would have been a homeowner now. I would almost paid off, like a cheap house would have almost been paid off. And now I'm just getting a call from the people I gave 160,000 euros to the last 20 years, and that I need to like, yeah, get out of my home. And then when I asked them nicely, look, I've been living here for 20 years, taking care of my mom and all this stuff, uh, they just ignore. They say no, and I need to go hire a lawyer and fight for it, and all these things while I'm mourning the loss of my mom. A moment in my life, I just want to focus on my grief, and I mean, they're just poking the bear. I mean, like I was furious. Like I've been never been so angry in my life. I've I'm a very peaceful guy. I have there are things going through my mind, and that I normally never go through my mind. So I mean, they really poked the bear. And I'm really pissed off. But I mean, you have to learn from your mistakes. Of course, I'm not going to do anything crazy. But yeah, that anger has drove me to some. I mean, if you piss me off, I will take some kind of revenge, and my revenge is not a revenge in like hurting anybody or doing crazy stuff, or of course not. But you can take an indirect revenge. It's not a revenge that even gonna do anything for them. They're not gonna ever know I take this revenge, but it's on a personal level. I decided that I know, I'm not gonna pay another. I'm not gonna go another year or years paying rent. Like as soon as I can get something, and maybe I just have to start living from my van or something. Like I'm looking at all these like van life. It looks really cool. I mean, traveling the world in your van. I mean, I could like travel through France, Spain, Italy. I can go to even go to Africa and just live and start sleeping. And I just could like remodel my van, put and